Thank you so much for continuing to listen to Steph Infection. If you like me so much, please come see me on my Filth Queen tour that's happening all over the goddamn states in Canada right now. I will be in Washington at the Miracle Theater on November 10th. I'll be in Brooklyn at the Bell House November 11th. Then I'll be in Boston on the 12th, but it's already sold out. You guys took too long to get tickets. My big Toronto show at the Danforth Music Hall on December 14th is 11 tickets away from being sold out. That's a 1,200-seat theater, motherfuckers. Get those tickets now. New Year's, I'll be in Chicago at Zanies the 27th to the 31st. Then the new year, we got some big old new dates for January 4th to 6th. I'll be at the Milwaukee Improv. The 12th to 14th, I'll be at the Pittsburgh Improv. I'm getting out of breath right now. The 25th to the 27th of January, I'll be in Tacoma at the Tacoma Comedy Club. And then I'll do a couple February dates here. I'll be in Oklahoma City, February 8th to 10th at the Bricktown Comedy Club. Then the 15th to 17th, I'll be in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You guys keep asking about Grand Rapids. Come see me at Dr. Grins. And then the last weekend of February 22nd to 24th, I will be in Rochester, New York at Comedy at the Carlson. So that's good for now. And then, I'll do one more. March 7th to 9th. March 7th is my birthday. I'll be in New Jersey at the Stress Factory. So please come out to any of these shows. Check out my link in my bio. Keep following me on Instagram. Please follow me on YouTube to follow along all these episodes. And rate and help me subscribe so I can get into the top 200. Okay, bye. If you're like me, you love Vegas. You like playing the slots. You like playing roulette, blackjack. Don't know how to play it, but I play it anyways. Download the DraftKings Casino app now. Sign up with promo code INFECTION, and new customers get a deposit match up to $100 in casino credits. Only on DraftKings Casino with promo code INFECTION. With comedian John Hastings.
I'm here with Steph Tolev.
Comedian, Canadian.
Correct.
Usually say it first the other way around.
No, I like it
this way.
Yeah.
I will just say off the top here, this is the second time that we have recorded this podcast.
Correct.
Before I was at All Things Comedy, I was doing this alone in my house. I wanted to kill myself. And then a lot of the times, several of the episodes didn't work out, yours included. And I really liked yours. I really wanted it. So now we're back.
Luckily, I believe we recorded this. We're going to talk about a horrific bike accident in a couple minutes. I believe we recorded it pretty fresh.
Yes, we did.
Because now here's the thing for people listening to this podcast in various places. Steph and I are blessed enough to live in the center of the universe, Los Angeles, California, which means when I got injured, a lot of people reached out to be like, I heard you got hurt. And then I'd say yes. And then they'd be like, okay. And then they'd hang up the phone. And like, I'm just like, and you were the only one of my friends who went, this is how you called me because you're a psycho. You just went, heard you crashed your bike. Do you need something from Trader Joe's? And I was like, I had you send me a list. I'll see. I'm going there now. And then I sent you a list. And then I remember getting my stuff and you went, oh, you're fucked up. You better be on my podcast. And then I think we did the podcast like 5 days. I would just know that I was freshly off opioids and really feeling it. Like, I'm glad that podcast didn't make the light of day because who knows what story I was telling.
No, you were delusional for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm the only one who offered to get you groceries. It's so
only
rude.
Only one. Granted, it was the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, and you were also the only one who was in town.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't realize people. So we've known each other for.
I was thinking about this on my run this morning. We've known each other since 2009.
That's a long time.
So long.
Do you remember the first time we met?
No idea.
Okay, good.
No idea.
I asked someone this other day, person, they're like, oh, it was this day, you were wearing this. And I'm like, I don't remember anything.
You're a psycho. If I met, because we were in Toronto Comedy, which was like being part of like this weird high school, if all of the classes was just getting drunk.
Every class was getting drunk and then getting super high after the shows.
See, I wasn't getting high in those days. I had all these rules because I was trying to make it in comedy. I was like, I remember so many times people going outside outside to smoke weed, or like, oh, we're going to go smoke a joint and go to bed. And I remember like, get your eye on the ball, man. And then just stay up till 3 in the morning drinking.
Yeah. I was like,
we're professional. Yeah.
That's exactly what I did almost every night. It was great.
Exactly. Yeah, ruining your mind with pot. Yeah. Pass those cigarettes and booze over here. That just affects the heart and liver. Mine's fine.
Because when did you go to England again?
2012.
Okay.
So everyone thinks I lived in Toronto.
Yes.
Between the years 2009 and about 2015 or 16, or whenever they moved to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I moved in 2012. There's 3 hot years. My main Steph Tolev memory ever is I bombed very badly at a show of yours in Kensington Market because I decided to quit smoking like 30 minutes beforehand.
Okay. Was this the Augusta house, the upstairs?
It was at the Augusta house, and it was such a bad bomb that I was home last Christmas. And some people came to the Toronto Yuck Yucks and went, we saw you once at the Augusta House, and it was so bad we've never seen stand-up comedy since. You're pretty good tonight.
Are you
And I remember being like, was this, and I went, was it around 2010? And they went, yeah. I'm like, I remember that bomb. You were right to not like stand-up comedy.
Oh my God. That whole show was bad though. I used to DJ for them on the weekends, and they gave me that one show. So
yes,
I would
your
DJ.
illegal DJ career. Has this been discussed?
Not a lot.
Let's talk about...
I kind of did DJ Tanner because Jodie Sweden was on here. So I talked about it with her.
What are you fucking talking about? You had the DJ Tanner here?
No, Jodie Sweden, the sister, not DJ Tanner.
Oh
but then
God.
she apparently was DJ Tanner in the later years of Full House. So technically, yes, I did. But yeah, did you ever come to my DJ nights? I used to have I would do a show.
I was aware, no, because I just did stand up for 12 years continuously. So if it was at nighttime, I was like near an open mic. But I was aware that you were DJ Tanner because I remember thinking, that's a really funny DJ name.
Thank you so much. I really thought it was too. Yeah, I DJ'd for quite some time. I DJ'd some weddings. I DJ'd like a couple of events.
Now, when you say DJ, I assume this is you made a Apple playlist, and let me show you the beginning of the night. Boom!
No, I'll tell you what. I would curate the songs I wanted. I had a chunk for the beginning of the night when people were just coming in. Can't waste the good songs. I'd have a chunk to get people. I had certain songs that get people on the dance floor.
What's your major dance floor song?
To get people up, it's Getting Hot in Here by Nelly. You want a party started? Everyone fucking dances that jam.
Yeah,
everyone
good.
does.
It's good.
And then I would play 212. What's the song where she's like eating pussy something? There's like a pussy something. Oh my God, you know what I'm talking about? Azealia Banks, 212.
No.
I made the answer, but I'm gonna bump. That one's very big. I actually, when you were still married to your ex-wife who worked at Theater St. Catherine, I used to DJ the Just for Laughs parties when I was invited 45 years ago. It was a big part of my career. And you are best friends with Dylan Gott, another very funny comedian who has done this podcast for, listen to a back episode, and he is married to my best friend from high school. And I claim that I introduced them, and even though I did.
Didn't you introduce them? I thought that you did introduce them.
No, I did. They met through me.
Yeah,
they would never have met if it wasn't for fucking me.
Yeah, well,
So
what's the argument?
Well, they were like, Alexis saw him at a party.
Shut up.
I'm like, you would not have fucking known. And they have a baby together, and he's so fucking cute.
That baby is so fucking cute.
And I was worried.
My seat is getting pushed lower as we're going along. What is happening? Is this a Steph Infection prank? Is this a classic prank?
Did you touch something? That's never happened to any guest.
Has this never happened before?
Yeah, this has never happened before.
Is this jackasses?
Yeah.
What happened to this podcast? Are we rebranding?
Are you that large that maybe it's
fattest? You'll be on the internet.
I'm already on the internet.
Well, I didn't realize I was doing one of those edgelord podcasts where I kind of fat people. Jeepers, creepers,
wow,
Legion of Stephs, more like.
Look, I already got out in the last podcast for making fun of Disney people, and now people are very upset over that.
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't matter what you say, someone's going to be mad at you.
What do you mean by Disney people?
I said I think Disney people are disgusting and weird.
What are Disney people?
Adults who are obsessed with Disney at this age. We know a guy in Canada who is.
What do you mean we know a guy?
Merv, what's his name?
See, I don't know that guy.
Well, he's a weirdo.
This is the best thing about being from the Canadian scene that I am, is I was there in the we're gonna make it, guy, and then I fucked off. So I don't know, when everyone got druggy and weird. Did you hear what happened to Stan? I'm like, who's Stan? He's dead now. Who the fuck is Merv?
Merv is a guy who was obsessed with Disney. And then one night I was on MDMA and I called him because I was high on MDMA, and he told Dylan Gott the next day, he's like, wow, Tolev really trying to fuck me. And I was like, excuse me?
Whoa.
I was like, I was on MDMA with Alexis. And we just wanted to hang out and do a little blow, to be quite honest with you, at 4 a.m. Tolev really wants to fuck me. If I wanted to fuck you, Merv, I would have fucked you, okay? Just so you know. What happened?
I'm going to say this. To back up Steph, as someone who's been stood next to people, Steph has wanted to fuck. People know. Yeah, people fucking know, bro.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty obvious. You've seen me take boys home. Men. I shouldn't say boys. That sounded really
both.
bad. You've seen me take boys home.
I don't think I have actually.
I feel like you probably have.
I mean, if it's happening, I don't have my binoculars out. Tolev's bagged another one. No, because here's the thing: is also like I never hung out. Like I was never a party guy in Toronto. I would booze a bit, but like also when I would come back in like 2012, it was Christmas time. So I'd be like at a Christmas party, so it doesn't it doesn't really count.
No.
But I was also staying with my mom, so I couldn't get. You're not gonna get super nuts and then go home to your mom?
That's the only way I can tolerate my family. Yes, I must.
No. But there's a level. Really?
Oh, I'd go home.
Class A's? Pills and pounds?
I'd go home. Right to the bedroom and they'd be like, are you okay? And I was in the room like, leave me alone.
So I
lived on my own in Toronto.
Yeah, so you lived on your own, then exactly what, if I lived in Toronto, I was going back to not a home where I have to speak to my mom.
Yeah.
John, how was your night? It was fine. In other news, 9/11 was an inside job. I don't know if you heard about that, Mom. Like I started smoking weed, and this only happened in like the last 18 months. And when I went back to Toronto, I just had to say to my mom, I smoke weed right now, because I was just getting so nervous of like walking in there at the end of the night, and she's just talking to me, and I'm just got like a bunch of nachos, and she doesn't know what's going on.
So you were in England for
6 hot years.
6 hot years.
I moved here May. I moved here May/October of 2018. I was a homeless person for May and June of 2018. Found an apartment thanks to our friend and noted moron, Mark DeBonis. Literally the smartest stupid man I've ever met in my entire life. Like, I guarantee that man knows how to make bread, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how to read. And I am not embellishing that at all.
Mark DeBonis might be one of the most insane people. I don't know how he's still alive. I honestly have no idea how he's carried on his life from where he started to where he is now.
I watched that guy, in a moment, invent the anti-COVID vaccine movement in his brain. Like I saw it, like everyone else had to be read. He just went, let me ask you a question. If they make like a vaccine, what's to stop them from just saying whatever? Just giving that to us. And I had to go, no, Mark, you're not thinking about that? And like, this was like, we're talking April of 2020, and those gears in his brain were already moving. But luckily we put a pin in that.
Did we put a pin in that? I will say, Mark's the best. Mark is one of the funniest people out there, but he's literally
that man got me through. We were neighbors in the first COVID-19 lockdown. Anytime I get to the end, you get a phone call from Mark every day. What are you doing? I haven't seen you a couple of days. Come over the roof. We got to talk. Go up to the roof. How you doing? Going for a run today? Let me ask you. $3 over there. Be a good place for a coffee shop, right?
Like, we're not inventing coffee shops in COVID, Mark. This is absurd.
I mean, I disagree. He walked around that entire neighborhood. He explained to me where everything. He's like, let me tell you where I put a pizza place. He had a clock. The man's a genius.
The man's worked at every pizza place in Toronto and Los Angeles, I think.
I love there's a reason for working in a pizza place in Los Angeles. You don't want to let show business think that, it's the only thing you got.
I drove with him to fucking Virginia and back in 48 hours.
What are you talking about? Why did you do that?
I mean, he had to share a room at like the Best Western on the way home. It was very.
What was he in Virginia? Were you guys smuggling cigarettes?
No, I had to I had a one-nighter at Virginia Tech, and I didn't realize until after what happened at Virginia Tech. I was like, why is everyone so weird here? What happened at this school? I was like, oh shit, something big happened at this school.
Yeah, it's weird because I remember that you remember you called Virginia Tech because you wanted to get some clips for Instagram Reels, and you're like, hey, can we shoot at Virginia Tech? And they're like, you cannot shoot at Virginia Tech, miss. Could
you imagine? That would have been. Then DeBonis bombed. He bombed for 10 minutes, and I bombed for 50, and it was over. And then we drove through like a crazy storm on the way there. I had to get back to open for Bill at the Air Canada Center, so I was like, I'm not missing this for fucking whatever. So we drove till like 4 a.m, slept for 3 hours about Western, and then I dropped him back off. Anyways, enough about Mark.
Fucking
this is insane.
Virginia.
It was crazy. We drove to West Virginia back.
Wait, Virginia to Toronto and back?
It was nuts. It was crazy. It was insane.
Who are you? Me?
Yeah,
I'm the person that is stupid.
And with DeBonis. Me and DeBonis is just him talking the whole
let me tell you about... I will be
about bees with capes. They're going to be a thing. I mean...
No, wasps, but they don't sting you. They hug you. It's going to be the next big thing.
Okay, he's insane. Okay, enough about this whole... I got to get him on the podcast now. Let's get in... Okay, so let's get in to the bike accident.
Let's do it.
And now I would need to mention this. This bike accident
Oh, yeah.
It directly correlates with the other Canadian comedian, Graham Kay, who did this podcast, who also had a bike accident. Now, let's just say this. Same bike.
Not only that.
Same bicycle.
Bear in mind, when my accident happened, I said to Graham, that bike, did you get used or new? Because if it's new, I might be able to do some lawsuiting. And then he went, I think it's used. And then later he then told me that story of, I got injured on that bike. And I went, you said it was used. And he went, new. And I went, what is going on here?
So he got in the accident, gives the bike to me.
Gives the bike to Steph.
Well, I paid for it.
How much you pay?
I think I paid $150.
Well.
I gave it to you for free, didn't I?
You did give it to me for free, but
yes.
you said I'm giving this to you, but it's broken a bunch of different ways, so you got to pay for it to work.
I told you I don't want the bike. The handlebars were all loose.
That's important. Don't forget about that loose handlebar. Lord knows I never have.
Okay.
Foreshadow McGillicuddy over here.
Okay. It wasn't so. You know what the main part I hated about the bike?
I did not know about the handlebars, by the way.
I hated that.
And that hurts. It literally hurts.
I thought I told you. I said it was loose. Everything was loose. And they were so sticky. He gave me the things with the grips were sticky.
I remember this.
I didn't like the sticky grips.
The grips were immediately replaced with some lovely pink racing grips.
Okay. And then I didn't like that you had to put your feet into it had like a boot on the
Correct.
pedal.
Those were also replaced. So they had that European thing. So if your shoes in, so it's the idea of you're dragging up the pedal as you're going down to give you more force.
Oh, okay.
But you don't fucking need that.
I don't like it. Not
street cycling. Yeah. What are you also doing?
No.
Get out of here, Pierre.
Okay. Your little tiny hat.
You fucking French open my ass.
So let's get in. Step into a world of nonstop action on DraftKings Casino. Play the classics like blackjack, roulette, and slots. Plus, enjoy exclusive games you can't find anywhere else. Right now, new customers get a deposit match up to $100 in casino credits when you deposit $5 or more. All you have to do is sign up, select the offer, make your deposit, and start playing from a full suite of games. Your way is the only way to play on DraftKings Casino. Play online on your time, in your own space, and within your means. It's safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you're ready. I was just in Las Vegas, and guess what? I lost some money playing the slots, and I played blackjack, and I tried playing craps, but that didn't work. That game makes no sense. But guess what? With hundreds of variations of casino games, you'll find a game that fits your tastes on the DraftKings Casino app. Don't get coughed on in Las Vegas. Do this at home in private so people aren't throwing ham sandwiches all over you. That happened to me. Low minimums. You can play as low or high stakes as you feel on any given day. Not ready to play for real money? Hey, guess what? That's not a problem. All DraftKings games let you test out games for free until you find the right fit. So, I mean, we're gambling without even money here. This is great. Download the DraftKings Casino app now. Sign up with promo code INFECTION, and new customers get a deposit match up to $100 in casino credits when you deposit $5 or more. Only on DraftKings Casino with promo code INFECTION. Do you have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, please play responsibly. In partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. One per opt-in new customer, minimum $5 deposit. Max match $100 in casino credits, which require one-time playthrough within 7 days. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/players choice. Restrictions apply. Let's get into...
So it is January 2021. So the backstory of this is
Can you look into the camera?
No, I will not go. I will not look into the camera. I want this to be dramatic. I was going to turn like this. No. So the backstory of this is I live in Los Angeles. I didn't own a car in Los Angeles until last September because I was poor and this city is hard to live in. By the way, fun fact about living in Los Angeles and riding a bike everywhere is no one assumes poverty. They always are like, "Are you crazy? Are you?" Yeah. And it always would annoy me because I'm like, "Do I have to explain?" I do stand-up comedy for a living, and I moved to the zone where they're like, We don't pay people for that shit here.
No.
So I was pretty poor. Luckily, COVID came around, sorted my finances right the fuck out. Anyway, get divorced. Join some dating apps. Post divorce, meet a lady. It's COVID. We still make the risk. Head on over to her house. Post divorce. Oh, he scores. Shoots, he scores. Okay. He's biking home. Remembers he has to go film skits at his manager's house. A truly embarrassing thing to say. And luckily, God intervened and broke my handlebars going down a hill as I was biking to my manager's house from a lady who is now my girlfriend's house. And let me tell you, that's a real message. Oh, the first person you have sex with someone that's not your wife going through a divorce, we're going to break your shoulder and your elbow, motherfucker, going down a hill. Yeah.
So what hill are we going down here?
Going down the hill on Western. Which one? On Western and Adams.
So way down there. God, you biked far.
I biked far.
Jesus Christ, you're down there.
I biked, baby.
And you're in K-Town. So what the hell?
I was biking down to where my manager lived. I would go K-Town to Manhattan Beach and back.
On the bike?
On the bike. So...
Okay, for people listening, that's like an hour at least each way?
It's an hour and 10 minutes each way.
In this heat. Also, Los Angeles is not a biking city. They don't like you on a bike.
Los Angeles is like everything with LA. LA absolutely is a biking city and has all the infrastructure set up. They just told no one about it.
Okay.
And so if you Google Maps, not Apple Maps, but if you Google Maps, it will take you on all these weird routes. And that's because the city has widened roads and created bike lanes. So there's a whole network so you can cycle within Los Angeles.
Okay.
Steph is 100% correct in that no driver is aware of that, and they are actively trying to kill you.
Yes.
And so I'm going down. I lost my spot.
Adams.
I'm going down the hill. The other thing to remember is at the top of the hill is an off ramp for the 110 freeway, and also an express lane for buses. Now I was traveling in the bus lane as I was going down the hill. There was a bus behind me. I could feel it. But luckily, I'm safe. I've been cycling for 10 years. I've seen everything. Here's something I've never fucking seen in my life. As I'm going down the hill, the handlebars snap in perfect two. They snap in perfect two. And I remember in my mind being like, that is very bad. And I remember thinking, and you are surrounded by traffic. Now, I have a theater degree and don't know a lot about physics, but I understand if you have balanced weight on two sides to keep you straight, if suddenly there's just a lot of weight on one side, you're veering, baby. Hello, Honda Civic driven by a nervous-looking lady. I don't know what happened. As I understand it, I was able to maintain my space in traffic, and I dropped, so I didn't veer, which means I didn't land or immediately be in the path of fast-moving tires. Okay. Luckily, I don't know what happened. I went into shock from the impact.
No helmet.
No helmet. Why would you? Mess up this hair? Mess up this balding hair? Oh, I feel that.
You would need the largest helmet in the entire world.
My hat size is 8 1/4. Steph, put on. Just illustrate it. Just get ready. Professional stand-up comedians, 37. Nothing funnier than that. You're not beating that, baby.
Should I just wear your hat on after every show?
I think this should just be your podcast.
Tiny head and a big hat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tiny Head, Big Hat. Our guest, as always, Steph Tolev. Put the hat on your tiny head.
Okay, this is
We have once again beaten the Joe Rogan Experience for most downloaded show ever.
Okay, no helmet. So all of a sudden how do you come to? You're on the ground.
I come to a bald black man. Has got my one good arm under his arm and is lifting me up. Is literally like his running in the road, lifts me up.
Oh my God. Was he in a car?
He was on the sidewalk. And it's only then that I realize and look. And there is a bus. So you know when like a bus stops really short, it's like that huge like halting like forward and back brake motion?
Yeah.
I can only describe, I look at the bus and it's in the middle of that. And then I look and go like, oh, that bus is a foot from where I can see I'd be like, I was about to get run over by a bus. This, and literally as it was sort of pieced together, the bus then, by the way, this is welcome to Los Angeles. Does that bus driver call for authorities? Literally just stops, turns the signal on and gets into traffic and fucks off. The guy who got me out of traffic drags me out, and then he was like, all right, see ya, and he takes off.
So he got you on the sidewalk.
Got me on the sidewalk.
And the bike's on the sidewalk now.
Bike's on the sidewalk, and I'm like, what the fuck? And now bear in mind, everyone, I have been in bicycle accidents before. This is the elbow from this accident we're talking about. I got this fuck up one getting hit by a drug dealer in London in the end of 2018.
On a bike.
On a bike. I got sideswiped. He took out my back tire, slammed onto this elbow on the road. I was pulled out of the road by two Hasidic Jews. They helped me call the police. Very helpful post-accident wise, calm me down, soothing energy. And then as soon as they said they were safe, they went, we have to leave you because now you're not going to die. So for us to keep helping you would violate our religion. And I always really appreciate being like, thanks guys. And then they took off. It was Friday. It was the Sabbath. They're not allowed to use electricity unless there was a life at risk. Which they thought there was also. And they gave me a top tip, which, and I'm going to share with everyone. If you ever need to call an ambulance, you're allowed in that moment to emergency service to request the police as well. Always do that because the police have access to a different set of like radio channels. So they can get there, they'll get there in 5 minutes, look at you and be like, yeah, you're going to the top of the ambulance list, or they can just take you to the hospital much faster, which is what happened in that case. So I'm now in LA. I'm not expecting, but I'm shocked that literally a guy's like, not dead, fuck you, and just leaves. And
so you're on the curb now.
I'm on the curb, and I'm in like.
Are you bleeding?
I'm in shock. I'm not bleeding. Like this is my, so this arm, so this elbow, this is all like bloody. And I've broken this elbow before.
Yes.
I know what this feels like.
Yeah.
This feels the same way. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this elbow is broken. We're going to the hospital for sure.
Yeah.
I've never had a dislocated shoulder before, but this shoulder looks and feels pretty dislocated. That's fine.
Yeah.
Put a cast.
Head's not bleeding, didn't hit the head.
Head's not bleeding, besides like a one moment of not realizing, which is shock. I know it's shock. I also, luckily, Steph, have had enough concussions that I can identify them pretty
that
quick.
was a concussion.
So you don't have the main trick of the concussion is it feels like there's a whoa, whoa, whoa in your nose, in your ears, because your brain has literally touched the side of your skull. It's like moving around. Call my manager. My manager's now husband is a producer who is now a huge asset. Because what do producers know? Fast emergency rooms and where they fucking are. So how long did it take you as a Canadian to get health insurance in this country?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Took me 2.
Okay.
During middle of COVID, because I was down here, all the other fucking pussies, all the Chinook losers, fucking ran hit under mummy and daddy's legs.
I did that too for a while.
Yes, you did. I was talking specifically about you.
I was like, I did that.
Yeah. I know. I was the only one that was like, I was told don't go to the airport. I will be staying here. And also America's Got Talent made me stay here. But
yes. Also, I lived on the main floor and I thought I was going to get killed in the room. So I was
your neighborhood during those riots.
It was very close.
I remember thinking about you during those riots because I was on the 3rd floor and I could hear the loot, like I could hear looters, and I was like. And I was like, do I know anyone who's in real trouble here? Because I'm like, I can get up to this roof with a baseball bat, and also I'm 6'4". Like, the police are coming for me.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking even then, I was like, oh, she's in Toronto. She's fucking fine.
Scared. Yes.
Yes, because I know someone who lives like basically 2 blocks up from you, and they found a crackhead trapped in barbed wire trying to break into their apartment mid-riot.
Yeah. I'm glad. That's why I left. Okay, yes.
You did the right thing. So I had just gotten health insurance right under the wire, because in COVID you could just register anytime. So I had this whole project. I registered. So I remember he comes and he's like, and he literally has that like these eyes of like, I'm about to speak to a comedian. They're all fucking idiots. I know this guy doesn't have insurance. I know he doesn't. We're just gonna figure it out. And he gingerly helps me get my bicycle and gets me, and he goes, hey, so I know, do you have it? And I went, I actually do have insurance. And he's like, come on. And he's like, where? And I was like, and I remember I was like, Kaiser Permanent?
Yeah.
And so he takes me to the Kaiser Permanente on Sunset. We walk in, and that's when the show begins, because it's COVID. So the only people that are in the hospital
are COVID.
They're in another part of the hospital. I'm in the emergency room. Who do you think's having emergencies in COVID and going to the emergency room?
Not a lot of people.
This fucking idiot. Yeah. And a crazed heroin addict who'd recently had his leg amputated. Oh. And this is how bad my injury was. I am led in by a nurse, and this man is in his private area, and he's got a, what the fuck are they called? The thing, if you've ever broken.
Crutch?
He has a crutch, and he is wildly swinging the crutch at the glass enclosure and saying, fuck you! Fuck you! And then I stop, and I remember he just stopped, and he went, and then, and I went, what the fuck is wrong with me? What do I look like? And then I spent 6 hours laying in a bed, and then they'd come and get me for different x-rays. And what I now learned, and then, bear in mind, not in a cast, No, nothing.
Still like loose.
Just loosey-goosey. Now, what I later would find out is I have a severely broken top of the humerus bone. The ball in the joint is sliced in half. And it's sliced in a way that all they can see is a shadow on the x-ray, and they can't figure out if it's a shadow or a break. So they keep showing it to a different expert going, I need it from this angle. So they come and get me, bring me into an x-ray room going, we have to take an x-ray of your armpit. We think it might not be distal. We think it's broken. We're just going to need to move your shoulder. And by like the fourth time, I'm trying to be very polite.
Yeah, and you're like, I can't. Yeah.
And I finally just, can I swear? And they were like, yeah, you can yell a little bit. And a doctor came from a floor above and said, you need to be quiet. And I told him to go fuck yourself. Like I was literally like tears down, and they've got like this like nurse hold like this, and they're like, okay, we're going now. And I would just go, fuck you.
Oh my God.
And then put it down, and then they finally come, set everything. It's good. And then they go, so they've set it, and they go, okay, it's a little broken, but it's not bad. You just need to come back for a consult on Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, this is all right. We've made it. Head home. Go learn how to take a shit without using half of your body. That's very difficult. Good core workout, breaking your shoulder, because you gotta lift from the core, lift from the legs. Very good.
Okay.
3 days later, come back to my surgeon, possibly the most emotionless man I've ever met. I remember, and he goes through and goes, "There's a problem. I got an expert looking at it. We might need to move surgery. We're going to do it Friday. I move it up Thursday. Not a big deal." Anyway, and then there's a knock on the door, and he comes back in, a little bit more nervous. He goes, "He's not liking stuff. We're going to have you come in Wednesday."
He's not liking
No, it's Friday, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Another knock on the door. He comes back, and now he goes, "All right, you're coming in 4 a.m. tomorrow. This is now an emergency. Your arm is at a severe risk of bone death, which means that this bone no longer is getting any blood. It dies, which means then your body is just pinned. It breaks every time you move. It has no strength."
Oh, God.
And because of like how the medical industry works, he's like, we couldn't just, and I was like, so if that's the case, you take the bone out. And he's like, no. With each break, we can replace it with titanium, and then eventually it's just pinned to your body. So we'll see you tomorrow at 4 a.m. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, my God.
Just going to head on home and be positive, huh, Doc?
Yeah. Hey, have a good night. Go and watch Netflix and chill, huh? You're
Do you have any belts I could bite through? Thank you. So, headed on home. I missed Joe Biden's inauguration. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, another, headed on back for the surgery.
4 a.m.
4 a.m., getting in there, be brought in. I remember I was brought in, still cleaning from the last surgery around 7.
That's nice.
I peed a lot. And I went, we do it all. Good. I wake up. Everything's fine. I said, by the way, no one tells me.
What's going on there?
What's up? It's fine. Like, it seems okay. It's in the sling now, all this sort of stuff. That's fine. Finally, a nurse just like pops in and is like, "Oh, you'll be ready to leave in about 20 minutes." I was like, "Ready to leave?" And she's like, "Has no one told you how it went?" And I was like, "No."
What's going on?
And she was like, "Oh, it went really well." And I was like, "All right."
Well, thank you.
Thanks,
So what did they do in there? What's in there now?
All right. So what they did was they tied this elbow all back together. And then they went in here and they took the bone out and they screwed the sphere at the top of the bone. They put screws in it so that it is now just that ball, and put it back in my arm. The risks were the following. 1, any sort of nerve damage. You're never playing baseball again, my friend.
Yeah.
Any sort of movement, incorrect placement. I'll never play the guitar again.
Didn't know you play guitar.
That's right. Now that Steph, I'm a comedian in LA, and it's not going the best. I'll be learning to play the guitar soon. I'll have you know. I want to put out some really saccharine specials. Anyway, and then finally they screwed 3 or 4 screws into it. I'll never be able to do that with my left arm again. I can't do the full
really
circle. I am missing out. How am I going to
did that a lot?
How am I going to comedically throw a pitch? And all of that sort of stuff. They screwed it back in and then just put me in a sling. And then they were like, "All right, now we'll just wait 2 weeks." And I went, "What? Wait 2 weeks?" They gave me fentanyl. They gave me not Oxycontin. They gave me fentanyl on the first day, which as a Canadian, chef recommends. Okay, so I literally was at home. They're like, "You can't take anything. Can't take anything for the first 3 hours." And then the pain guy came and sat with me, and he went, "And then after that 3 hours, you are to take what was it? He said, give me fentanyl to leave the hospital. And then he went, you are to take an Oxycontin either 2 every 6 hours or 1 every 4 hours. And I went, that is a lot. And he went, that is a lot. We need to relax all the muscles in your body so that this doesn't rip out.
Yeah, oh my God.
And I was like, am I at risk of getting addicted to Oxycontin? And he went, yes. And I was like, what do we do here? And he's like, okay, you have a 2-week supply. And he literally is like, here's your 2-week supply. You also have to buy an overdose kit. You're not legally allowed to take this unless someone is there the first time.
Oh my God.
Because they're dealing with, it's very possible I'm an opioid addict who has done this to my body.
For this?
For this.
Oh,
which is like Christ, like shoot yourself in the foot, motherfucker.
That's nuts. Yeah.
First you have to befriend Graham K, get him to give his bike to you. Very elaborate.
I give you the bike. I don't charge you for it.
Once Steph gives me the bike, it's just a few short years.
Okay, so 2 weeks, you go back in.
2 weeks. I stopped taking the pills after 4 days because it was literally like it. I've never had an experience like this where you feel so good, but your entire brain is like, but remember that this is this is a pill that we are stopping immediately.
So what do you feel on it? Just nothing. You numb out?
You feel complete numbness. Like you just are like, it's not that it was, I heard this set of heroin and I completely understand it now, which is it's not that a heroin addict is so fucked up he doesn't know a bottle isn't a pillow. It's that he is so numb. That bottle, he doesn't care that bottle's not a pillow. He's got a bottle. Fuck you. You don't got no bottle.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. Like you literally, and like your mind is so crazy. Because my brain, your brain chemicals in those moments of high impact literally thinks it's died. You can't explain to the instinctive part of your brain, you're not dead. It releases chemicals in those moments of trauma and then just thinks it's dead. And so there's certain things that sort of help with that. Not having the pain all the time gave me some quality of life. And before the surgery, here was the one I forgot. So I come back after the night of everything. My manager's done the nicest thing of like, they got me food, they set me up, they got me home. They even was like, just to relax, we got you like one that's very LA, like we got you a little joint, because it's LA. And I was like, I was just getting back into the old doobies at the time, Steph. Here's a top tip, everyone. Never, if you've been in shock, smoke weed. Because THC counteracts that brain chemical. So I took a little hoot and then spent 2 hours reliving the accident. Because my brain was in like full trauma and it was like, wait, I don't need to remember that. And then Cheech over here has a little bit of Maui Wowie. I just remember just laying in my bed, just tears as I could see the bus getting. Oh my
God.
Because it's all, and then I asked the doctor and I asked my therapist and he's like, yeah, your brain had released chemicals because you literally had witnessed all of that. And it was like, he doesn't need to know.
Then he's like, he needs to know now.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, my God.
It's like when you're on pills and powders going home to your parents' house. If they ask you, Steph, are you on MDMA?
No, just rubbing my thighs.
Yeah, this LaCroix's fucking good though.
Oh my God. Okay, so 2 weeks.
2 weeks, nothing. 2 weeks, go back.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, my doctor, really good surgeon, may have the worst bedside manner.
But what is he saying? What is this manner?
I come in, this is the meeting. So doc, how'd the surgery go? And he goes, with these surgeries, they can go a lot of different ways. And right there, I was like, now we're about to chop off my fucking arm. Go get the sword. Go. Let's do this. And then he went, and yours? And I'm like, and he went, and yours is in the successful category.
Why would he have to word it like that?
Because life is a nightmare.
Yeah,
and then he made fun of me for not wearing many clothes because it was cold. It's like, it's clothes. Why are you dressed like this? I couldn't dress myself, so I was in flip-flops and jean cutoff shorts. And then I just didn't wear a shirt because I had this whole apparatus and this wound. And so I just put a shirt around my neck and this one armhole and then just got in an Uber. Yeah, my Uber rating's not the best, and I know why. Where are we going? The hospital.
Let's see the scar.
All right.
Can we see the scar?
Oh, you can see the scar.
That's in there. Okay, let's show the camera. Yeah,
that's the scar.
Oh, that's thick. Okay, yeah. I thought it'd be longer for some reason.
So yeah, so did I. Especially because bear in mind, they cut in here and then peel, they peel open.
Yeah.
And go in, they take the bone kind of out.
And then put it back in.
Shove it back in.
It's the out and in.
I think. Yeah. So there may be.
But that elbow was the same. That was the same.
So both elbows are.
Both elbows are very scarred.
So this one I always like to say, so this one was done for free under the National Health Service of England.
Okay.
This one was done in Los Angeles for $7,000. As you can see, this one doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
This one looks great. If you'll notice, this arm does not work as well as this arm. It's just this one looks better than this one. That's the fun metaphor between the two health services.
Okay. So how much did it cost?
7,000 big boys.
But that's not even that much compared to what I thought it would have
been.
Yes.
$900,000.
If you didn't have insurance.
So I did not have insurance.
$900,000.
Now, with everything in America, this is why this country is crazy, is that there's always an angle in this nation. This is why everyone's a fucking hustler in this fucking land, because there's always a fucking angle. Do you know how people get out of paying those bills? Because this is the thing, everyone assumed I didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
So the amount of people oh, this is how I did it. It's that thing. And so I very cleverly, I went and checked the text messages before I arrived. So here's a little free advice for the Steph Infection listeners.
I like this.
So hospitals have a program where you can write them a letter of hardship, which is basically, how creative can you explain, I don't got the fucking money, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You made the mistake. Shouldn't have given me that surgery stuff. It's in my body now.
Yeah.
Come and get it. And then it's up to the hospital. This is only in California, by the way. It's up to the hospital to decide what the rate could be, and they'll negotiate and find a middle ground, which I was like, that's
wild.
That was wild. And that was an amazing insight, because I always wondered, what do people do?
Yeah, if they can't.
Yeah, they can't. And because I knew that, because I had the money, because in COVID, the years before COVID were all right, I was a couple of things sort of happened. So I was like, all right, this isn't going to listen, I'm not fucking Kid Millions, but all right.
I had some.
I had some. And it was also that weird thing of all right, it was also that odd thing of knowing how much it was, all right, I have this.
Yeah.
This all happened in January of 2021. I gladly now paid that $7,000, because you know what happens under Kaiser Permanente HMO if you max out a high deductible like I did? You go for the rest of that year. I was in Billy Big Boy's medical because they don't just tap you out here. They just, if you have maxed out, okay, we'll give you 2 weeks with the good medicine. But I had 11 months. So I got my hips looked at. I had a problem with my back. We got that looked at. Full body scans. You know what I'm saying? It was very, very exciting.
Did you ever think for a second that you had to go back to Canada when you did that?
I didn't, because I knew I had insurance.
Okay.
What was very interesting is the amount of people and the amount of get that kind of injured, because you get here's why. You get such an understanding of who people are at their core, because you are so vulnerable and weak that people just either people are there to help, or people just don't understand to help someone that's that vulnerable, and you see that side of it. And a bunch of people's advice was let me tell you what I would have done in that situation. All right, let me hear your lie. Yeah. I would have just had them give me some pain pills, and then I would have just gotten on a plane to Canada.
Yeah,
and it's all right, well.
Yeah.
First of all, it was COVID. Second of all, what you're doing is called fraud, you fuck.
Yeah.
And so Steph and I are both Canadians, and a lot of Canadians keep their Canadian healthcare and go back and use it. Now, what is happening is the Canadian government is now cracking down heavily on that, because it's costing the government millions of dollars.
I don't have it. I pardon myself.
I know you do not have it.
Yeah.
And I have a real disrespect for people that are still using it, because it is very much fraud. And also, please stop using it, because the government's going to come after you, because it's going to be the easiest thing for them to figure out.
Oh, they can find us always. Yeah, I don't pay my taxes in Canada anymore, so they would know it was me exactly. They're like,
yeah, it's a giant computer system. It's just the amount of people that called and were like, why aren't you in Canada? And it's like...
Yeah. I've been here for so long. When I first moved, I was I did it a couple times. I was still going back a lot. Now I'm okay, we got to wrap this up soon. You've really yapped my ear off about this.
More like the John Infection podcast. Oh, I got to say that John Infection sounds so much grosser.
It does. It sounds disgusting.
Steph Infection sounds like fun. Oh,
it's fun. It's
let's just wrap that in. Exactly.
Yeah.
We got it at the bar. John Infection sounds like you got it at the hospital.
Well, you did technically.
Worst story you've ever heard. What's the worst thing you've ever heard?
What's the worst body thing you've ever heard? Something that's haunted you.
I got two.
Okay.
They're both horrendous.
Okay, I can't wait. Okay, you have... 8 minutes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need the next 7 for throwing up. My friend Logan, when I was working at Gracefield Camp and Conference Center, his friend Ian's grandmother had a twist in her esophagus, so for 1 month she threw up her own shit.
Okay, wait a second here.
Old lady, I'm picturing a white nighty, just sitting in a chair watching some sort of midday programming.
Okay.
And then
Wait. Turd or diarrhea?
So this is I've always assumed turd, but when this was brought up, everyone was too busy going, that's not true, and him just going, it is true, in a way that makes me think, he's seen a woman throw up shit. I pictured turds.
I picture turd. I picture one long turd.
Heavy bodybuilder steak logs.
I picture like just a big, thick log. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And her kind of pulling it out. I'm actually going to gag. So I don't gag a lot.
I never thought about her pulling it out.
Her pulling it out was making me kind of sick.
Because it's also just like, it's almost...
You know what? I actually don't think I like this anymore.
Isn't that a nightmare? Isn't that a fucking nightmare?
So but why couldn't they give her a colostomy bag? There's so many other things here that doesn't make sense.
I assume that the doctor was just kind of like, let's see if this works. Like, I have a feeling that she was so old that they were just kind of like, listen, we need
her in the middle of Days of Our Lives. Oh, Johnny's back.
Why does it smell like a toilet in here? Well.
And then she just wipes her mouth with whatever. Oh, God.
Why is
this is so gross.
Have you had chocolate brownies? Well, you'll never think of those in the same way.
Okay, her name was for sure Gladys, too. Okay, what's the second one? Is it worse than that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's worse, which is, I've heard this from 2 sources, one of which was Theo Vaughn's podcast, and then another one is a guy I know from theater school who's a bit of a noted liar, and they both claimed that they got such bad anxiety it made their cum cold.
There's no way. There's no way. It can't. It's in the body. Your body's warm.
Yeah, all right, well, you argue with a guy I saw wear an ascot at 19 and Theo Vaughn.
I will argue Theo Vaughn.
Yeah?
That doesn't make any sense. Like clinically, unless you're a corpse and your cum came out after you died.
I don't want to be rude, Steph. Where is your medical degree from? The Humber School for Comedy, that's where it's from.
I'm sorry, where's my medical degree from? I have fucked almost 100 men. I have seen a lot of fucking cum. I've been around a lot of semen.
Listen,
a lot more than you, okay? I know you have your own, but I have seen a lot. I've seen various.
I think,
all shapes, sizes, all colors, and everything.
Pause. What colors have you seen? Have you seen gray?
Shades. Not gray.
Have you seen yellow?
No, it's like different shades of white, like a beige, maybe no yellow, no like pussy. Yeah.
You talk to me when you've seen gray and yellow, pal.
Have you seen gray and yellow?
I've seen gray, and I've heard tell of yellow.
Gray in your own?
No.
That's a dead penis.
And technically, by the way, I haven't heard. What it was I was talking to a comedian who later stopped doing it because he cheated on his wife a bunch, and he said I had to stop smoking weed because it turned my cum gray. And I was like, what the fuck?
No.
And then I Googled it. If you smoke a bunch of weed, you can turn your cum gray. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for this old gray cum.
I want you. I will
poo one's really gross.
Isn't it? I'm sorry.
I can't get past it.
Yeah.
The cold cum, whatever, but the poo in the mouth
year was
is bad.
2003 when that's been rocketed into my brain, madam. 20 years of fucking hell and 20 minutes of just a silent moment. Everyone, what a beautiful sunset. One time a woman threw up her own shit.
That poor woman.
Standing in front.
I wouldn't eat.
I wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Hi, for the next 2 weeks, you'll be throwing up your own shit. What's that, Doc? Okay, so can you? I'll be headed to the toaster and bathtub store. Yeah, do you have any garages here that don't open anymore? Bye. What the fuck are you talking about?
Also, and bathtub store.
If you are 80 and they say to you,
it's done.
Yeah, we're done.
No, we're done.
I don't need that experience. Well, life was a panoply. I saw Europe during World War II, and I learned you could shit with your mouth.
The funniest way that you could die.
Okay, what's the funniest way you can die? We'll end on this. And don't make it poo in your mouth. Don't make it poo.
Imagine if you got someone threw up shit on you while you came cold.
No, that's so fucked up.
Okay. So what would be the worst
funniest way you can die? Funniest way you can die.
Funniest way I could die?
Yes.
I mean, it's bicycle accident. If I go for
yeah.
the,
Are
if
you
I go
still biking?
No, I can't get on a bicycle. I have very severe PTSD.
Yeah,
I've got
okay.
the only person I've been on a bicycle with, which was Graham K when we were in New York.
Out of all, you guys both shouldn't be near a bicycle.
He more than me, by the way. Because here's what I don't like is here's the other thing that is so fucked up, and I've had to confront a couple of people on it, which is one person got in my face and went, "It's really stupid that you were riding that bike," and I had to go, "All right, motherfucker. First of all, both times, not my fault. Not my fault. Both times, bolts from the blue on purpose, on fucking purpose."
Also, you literally didn't wear a helmet after you've already been hit, so that's stupid.
Oh yeah.
That's on you. That's on you.
100%.
Okay, so what's the bike accident?
It's bad. Okay, the bike accident. I'm hit. Okay, I'm run over by a helmet truck while not wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
And then the guy, I am still alive. I've just broken my shoulder again.
Okay.
And then the driver of the truck is the son of the doctor that saved my life. I don't know why that detail's important. It doesn't come up. And he just bludgeons me to death with a helmet. And then at my funeral, they say he died as he lived, being bludgeoned to death by strangers.
Okay, and then
an old man shows up and throws up his own shit, and then he comes cold on my coffin.
And then the priest is wearing a big funny hat. And we can't see his eyes. I'm like, is the priest upset? We can't tell. Okay,
Yeah.
We're ending this. This is absurd. Where can everybody find you?
You can head on over.
God damn it.
Can I head on over to my Instagram account? It's at the John Hastings. I got loads of stand-up up there. Some of which involves the story you've heard tonight, told in a funny way, and none of it involves throwing up shit or cold gum.
Okay, good.
Steph, where can they find you? I don't know.
That's if you're not following me by now, you should be following me. Thank you for doing this, you absolute maniac. Sorry
great.
I gave you the bike.
Fun. Yeah, that's true.
It might be my fault. No, it's not
I
my
also
fault.
say,
Don't blame me.
no, what was nice though was in the bike accident. You know, the two people that immediately called to be like, "Are you okay? I'm sorry for giving you that." But you and Graham both were like,
Okay.
"Oh fuck, holy fuck,
Yeah, we felt
holy
bad. We
fuck."
felt bad. Even though when I biked, I wore a helmet. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the podcast. Keep sending in your stories. It's Steph Infection. Go to my Instagram page. There's a link in there to send all your stories in. And that's that. And there it is. Thank you.